We're going to be doing a reading in regards to the most important next step for you, what guidance is going to help you for whatever it is that you're going to be going for next. Relationship, career, life improvement, whatever it is, honey. For each person, it's going to be different, so we'll see what message is going to come through. For those who don't know, it does take around 24 to 48 hours for the timestamps to be available in the description and in the comments below, but I do have the order that I'm going to be doing them in the description so you can see when it's going to be your sign. So we're going to get started. All right. So let's see. For today, we're going to start off with Taurus. So what is the most important message that Taurus needs to hear today? We have here, know your worth. Okay, so there seems to be a situation where you may be out in your shine. You're not showing your true essence. You're not living your authentic self. Something is keeping you down from really expressing who you truly are. Now, she does have some coins around her, so I do feel like your money can be affected by this. So the more that you out your flame and don't really go to your full potential, like say example, you stay at maybe 50% because of, the people around you. You doing that, your money is going to be kept. And I feel like in this situation, this card's coming up to remind you that the more that you are you, the more that you're going to see abundance and things go up in life for you. I feel like this is mostly around career, but when you think about it, when you know your worth and your value for every situation, it actually is better. Okay, when it comes to love, you won't take anyone's BS. When it comes to career, you'll go after your dreams. You'll know your worth, you'll know your value, you know what you bring to the table. So I really feel like your worth and value, if you can find ways to increase it, you're going to see more abundance is going to happen in your life. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next sign, which is Pisces. So let's see, what is the message for Pisces today? Tell it like it is. Okay, Pisces. So there might be a situation where you feel as if you have been holding back on the words that you want to say. And this card reminds you that you have something to say and you just need to say it. Now, you don't necessarily have to be blunt or rude or anything like that. You can find a different way to articulate the words you're going to say. But this card is reminding you that you do have something valuable, things that people need to hear. There's some sort of wisdom, knowledge, or it's even just a matter of keeping up some boundaries. Maybe there's people around you where you just kind of let them say whatever they want to say. No, honey, speak up. There's something that you definitely have to say and the world needs to hear it. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next sign, which is Sagittarius. So let's see what message wants to come through for Sagittarius today. Emotional baggage. So there is something that you're holding on to that is hindering you from moving on to the next step. Okay, now don't be triggered by the fact of the word being called emotional baggage. It's just a matter of something from the past, some sort of old belief system, a story, a thing that you're holding on to and you're carrying it. As you can see, she's carrying a suitcase in her hand. Now think about it. When you go about to do anything in life, if you already have a suitcase in your hand, think about how much harder it is to do any task. Okay, so this card is reminding you that whatever happened in the past, whatever this old thing is, this story, this belief, or whatever has happened to you, it's time for you to let it go. It's time for you to put it down. You don't need to carry it with the next path and the next journey that you're heading towards. Okay, it's time to release this. So we're going to move on to the next sign, which is Virgos. So let's see, what is the message for Virgos? So So for Virgos, we have here connect with nature. Love this card for you, Virgos. Virgos, remember, you are an earth sign, okay? That's your element. So when you connect with nature, it's like you coming back to home, okay? See how much joy and abundance, and she feels so comfortable being in nature. I feel like this card is reminding you to connect with your Mother Earth, okay? If you've been feeling like you're not grounded, things are stuck, feeling like you may be having a foggy brain, or you just want some clarity on a matter, go into nature and connect. Now, you don't have to do anything except just be in nature. You know, take your shoes off if you can, put them in some grass. Hopefully your weather is nice enough that you can do that. If it's not, put on that jacket and still just breathe in that fresh air. But whatever is going to happen when you go into nature, it's going to help heal you. It's going to help give you what you've been looking for. There might be some sort of answers, clarity, or just even just wanting to feel more grounded. And nature is going to help you bring you back to those roots and make you feel a lot better. So we're going to move on to the next sign, which is Leo. So let's see. What is the message for Leo? What does Leo need to hear today? So we have here becoming nobody. So with this pen and this paper, there you might be someone that's a writer, or maybe you've been wanting to journal. But with this card coming out of becoming nobody, there's an essence of you feeling as if you don't have something to bring to the table. There's an essence of feeling like, well, you know, maybe that talent isn't something that anyone would care about. There is an audience for every single talent. Trust me, I've seen some weird stuff out there where I'm like, okay, it's not my cup of tea, but somebody else like it, and that's perfectly fine. So there's an essence of feeling as if you maybe that you don't want to put something out to the world, or you don't want to speak up. If this is in regards to writing, just start with the first sentence, start with the first line, the first paragraph, but just start. Whatever this thing is, I feel like it's a gift or a talent. Maybe you're a painter, but it's something that you're going to be using your hands to create. And I feel like there's an idea maybe in your head that's keeping you stuck from creating and from doing something. I don't know if it was, you know, maybe people around you that had told you that this was invaluable, or just shunned it. Don't listen to those things. If you've been given a gift, that is a gift from the universe, and it's a gift because the universe wants you to share it with other people. And even if it's just something you want to share with yourself, do it just for you. You know, when I started off with you know, doing card readings, I started off just for me, and then I started off with friends and family, and then slowly I got to the point where I started to put it out to the world. You know, just so start with baby steps. Whatever this thing is, it is valuable, it is a great talent, and it is something that there is an audience for it, and people will want to see it. Okay, we're going to move on to the next sign, which is Aquarius. So let's see, what is the message for Aquarius today? What is it that they need to hear? So for Aquarius, we have here beauty sleep. Okay, are you tired, honey? Do you have too many things on your plate? Are you getting your beauty rest? Now, as much as we can get caught up in the, you know, the hustler mentality, or work, 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 and do, there is a very good thing to do when you stop. You know, it's when you allow your body and your mind to recharge. And I feel like this beauty sleep is coming out because it's reminding you that it's okay if you have to take a couple hours to sleep. You know, if you don't get all the things done on that list that you have. This beauty sleep is coming out to remind you that your body needs to recharge, your mind needs to recharge. Okay, so whatever you've been doing, see where you can squeeze in a little bit of some more time, even if it's just a nap. Sometimes just taking a break, even for just a 5 or 10 minutes, can be so beneficial. If you feel like you're doing something and you're in this go-go mode, and or maybe your creativity is feeling blocked or feeling foggy, even just taking that 5 minutes to just close your eyes and rest. Think about how much things that your brain is doing on a constant basis that's just automatic and we don't realize it. Give yourself the time and grace to just stop and be still. It doesn't have to be long if you don't have the time to do that, but do find the time, okay? We're going to move on to the next sign, which is Cancer. So let's see, what is the message for Cancer that wants to come out? What is the message for Cancer? Be open to receiving. I love this card for you, Cancer. So, as much as we can be givers in life, sometimes it can be hard to receive things too. Now, I heard once that when you block yourself from receiving things, and it could be simple as someone doing a kind gesture of giving you a coffee, buying you a gift, whatever it is, when you say no to that, it's almost like you're saying no to the universe for giving you abundance. Now, we may say no to a cup of coffee, but if someone giving you $1 million, you're not going to say no to that. But the universe goes on frequency. So when you say no to even the small things, the big things also hear a no as well. So I feel like this receiving card about being open to it is allowing other people to do things for you, allowing other people to gift you. It's okay. You don't always have to be the giver. It's time for you to receive. This is also feminine energy. It may be something that you're not comfortable always being in that feminine energy, but receiving is positive and it's good. And you're going to start to feel maybe a little weird at first if it's something you're not used to. But as time goes on, when you allow more receiving to happen in your life, you'll see there's going to be a lot more abundance. And sometimes you don't have to be the one that always gives. Allow other people to give to you as well. So we're going to move on to the next sign, which is Libra. So let's see. What is the message for Libra? So we have here upside down. Okay, so this card reminds me of the card from Original Tarot, which is the Hangman card. When it comes to situations, sometimes we just need to look at it in a different perspective, a different light. You know, if you've been doing something for say the last 5 years in a particular method, maybe there's an easier one. Maybe there's a better one, or maybe there's one that's more fun. Whatever the situation that is on your heart that you're thinking of, it's time for you to try to maybe think outside the box. Find a different way. Maybe ask friends and family, ask other people, hey, how do you do this when it comes to your life, you know? And you're going to see when you try a different method and new perspective, there could be things that you're doing that you're maybe doing the long route, and there's an easier method that you can accomplish with this. So I feel like this upside down card is just reminding you that if you feel stuck in a particular situation, see how you can turn it around, see how you can maybe look at it in a different light. Say example, you wanted to, I don't know, say go to the gym or something like that. And you're like, okay, I'm going to dedicate 5 days to doing this. And the week comes and the busyness comes and all this happens. And then you don't go for the 5 days and you're down on yourself because you only went maybe a day or two. Instead of being sad that you didn't do the 5 days, look at it as, you know what? I still went 2 days and I'm proud of myself. And before I know it, eventually I'll be able to get to the 5 days. You know, it's just about changing the perspective, looking at things in a different light. Okay? So we're going to move on to Geminis. So let's see, what is the message for Geminis? What do they need to hear? Ooh, multiple streams. Okay, so if you've been thinking about money, that is heavily with this card. I feel like there's multiple streams of income. That's what I'm hearing. So you're looking for either methods of doing this, different ways that you can bring in more abundance and finances. I do also feel like this is a confirmation for somebody where they were like, am I going to be able to make money from this project or from this thing? And I feel like this is a yes card for you to let you know that you can achieve more than what you're currently doing. And there is smarter ways and better ways, you know, for you to get more income. there was something that came up recently with a client, and with that client, it was so funny because they were like comparing something like, last time it took me 8 hours to get this much income that I got in an hour. And it was just about them changing and working in a smarter way. So really think about, how can I actually tackle different talents and different qualities that I have that can bring in income where I can feel more relaxed, have more passive income, maybe make income when you're sleeping. But I do feel like someone was looking for some sort of yes, some sort of confirmation, and this card is a yes card that's screaming out, okay? We're going to move on to the next sign, which is Aries. So let's see, what is the message for Aries today? What do they need to know? What's going to help them? So you got here, be open to receiving. Okay, so this card did come up earlier. In regards to the card, I feel like when you allow yourself to be open to receiving, you allow yourself to be open to receiving all the abundance of the universe, okay? It may not be something that's always comfortable if you're not used to being a person that receives, but when you allow the universe to give you all these gifts from people, places, things, you're going to see that you're going to have a lot more abundance, a lot more joy, and you're going to feel a lot lighter. So this card is reminding you that it's okay for you to receive. You don't always have to be the person that gives. Allow people to do the same things that you do, okay? Now, I know sometimes it could be a situation where you're like, well, last time I allowed someone to do this, then they threw it back in my face. Use your judgment, use your intuition to know who to receive from and who not to receive from. But I do feel like if you block yourself from receiving overall from everyone, you're blocking your blessings. And I feel like there's some sort of gift, some sort of abundance, something that the universe is trying to gift you. But because you're not open to receiving it, it's kind of being blocked. So allow yourself to surrender and allow yourself to receive things in all forms, okay? Because when you do that, you're going to see the abundance is going to increase heavily in your life. So we're going to move on to the next sign, which is Scorpios. So let's see, what is the message for Scorpios today? We have here gentleness. Okay, so look how there's this feathers around. I feel like this card is reminding you that be more gentle with yourself. Be more kind with yourself. I don't feel like it's necessary you have to be kind with other people. I feel like this is all about you. You know, how can you fill up your cup more? How can you give yourself the same loving grace that you give to other people? How can you do that for you? You know, make time for yourself. Don't be so caught up in work and all the things that you have to do. Sometimes just relaxing and just sitting in your favorite, robe and on the couch and watching something is filling up your cup if that brings you happiness. So I feel like this gentle card is reminding you to be gentle with yourself. Now, I'm also feeling as if there's ever those times where you feel as if something didn't go the way that you wanted to, and you're like, oh, well, why did I do this? And da-da-da-da, and you're kind of having that ego and pride be a little mean in your subconscious. Find ways to be gentle with yourself. You're doing the best that you can with the information that you know. So remember to be kind to yourself the same way that you would somebody else, okay? So we're going to move on to the next sign, which is Capricorn. So let's see. What is the message for Capricorn today? Healthy boundaries. So there is people around you that are overstepping your boundaries, overstepping you. There's certain things where you may want to be saying no to, but you felt like you had to say yes. There's someone that is around you that maybe is trying to control you or trying to tell you how to live your life, okay? There is a sense of feeling like you have to have better boundaries around this particular person or just maybe people in general. I always like to ask myself, if this is something that I don't want to do, if it's a no, then I'm going to say no. Because sometimes we can get into this people-pleasing quality and we'll say yes to things that we really don't want to do. If you feel in your heart this isn't something you want to do, it's okay to say no. And I remember hearing one time someone's like, no is a completed sentence. And I was like, I'll be damned. It really is. Just put a period at the end of it. Okay. So whoever this person, I feel like there could be a particular person, because this card, when you read it in the book, it does talk about one person specifically is around you that's trying to control things and trying to, not necessarily manipulate your life, but they have their hands in the pot a little too often. So if it's one particular person, find different ways you can establish boundaries. And listen, when you establish boundaries and other people break them or walk over them or don't like them, that's on them. And if they can't level up to the boundaries that you have, then it's time to let that person go or distance yourself. Maybe take back the amount of time this person has access to you. Okay, so it's not always easy to establish boundaries, especially healthy ones for yourself if it's something that you're not accustomed to. But over time, you'll feel more happy. You'll feel more grateful that you didn't say yes to the things that you wanted to say no to. Okay, guys, we're gonna leave it at that. Thank you everyone for showing up and all your comments. All the best.